Good afternoon. I'm here with Dan Williver at Ramsey High School. Good afternoon,
Hi, Leah.
Dan.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. Dan, what do you teach?
I teach here at Ramsey High School U.S. History 2, College Prep, AP Human Geography, and a Practical Law elective for seniors.
Awesome.
In the past, I've also been one of the teachers who's participated in our Great Design Thinking program that we have here, but I'm not teaching that right now.
Awesome. And how long have you been here at Ramsey?
This is my 6th year in the district.
Cool. So what's really exciting is that Dan received the Milken Award for New Jersey.
It was quite an experience.
Yeah,
yes, it was a big surprise. It got a lot of coverage. I feel very blessed and honored to have been given such a recognition. And basically, it's given to 40 educators around the country every year.
Wow.
Pretty much nationally, but in the fall, and then in March, I'll have to go to Indianapolis to actually receive the official award of $25,000, which is it's like stupendous. It's
awesome.
Crazy.
So Bergen County is very proud of you.
Thank you, and of you, I'm sure.
So you make history come to life, and probably plays into why you're such a worthy recipient of this award. Tell us a little bit about how you bring history to your kids.
I try to, and I think I just have to say that I think it's something that's so important, especially given this moment we're in as a country. We're very divided. We're going through a very historic moment in terms of what's going on in our government right now, and so what's really important for me is that students leave my class with an appreciation that our country's faced big obstacles before. We can overcome those obstacles again, but it's going to take a lot of work. It doesn't just happen, right? We have to be participatory citizens. We have to be aware. We have to know how to work with one another. And so that aspect of collaboration with one another, regardless of who do I get along with, who do I not get along with, who do I share views with, regardless of that, we have to learn how to cooperate and work together. So I could give the example of one of the projects that my US 2 students are working on right now that allows them to be fun, creative, and collaborative is a Roaring Twenties carpool karaoke, of course, taken from another TV show. This is, of course, a spoof on comedians in cars getting coffee, but I've based it on the Late Late Show with James Corden's skit with famous musicians in the car. And so what my students do is they each take a different character from the 1920s, like a stockbroker, a flapper, a bootlegger, a farmer, a college student, an old-timer, and they have to take a car trip together, and they talk about different events and themes of the 1920s along the way. They talk about the Harlem Renaissance. They talk about the economic trends. The Prohibition, of course, is a big thing that all the students want to talk about. They'll talk about the divide in the country over things like modernism versus fundamentalism and science, the role of religion. So they're talking about a lot of issues that are still really relevant to the country today. We still have those type of debates. They're engaging in great conversations about them. They're making connections between the past and the present, and they're doing it in a way that is super creative, super collaborative, and a lot of fun. Of course, they're going to listen to some great music and make connections between the music that they pick and the topics that they're talking about. So they get about 2 weeks to work on the project. It's a lot for them, but at the end of the day, I think they really walk away with an appreciation of the history. They're making those connections to their own lives. That's what I want them to do.
So fun and so creative, and one of the great joys of this program for me is like learning from teachers like you, and I just love this idea. So thank you for sharing a cup of coffee with me.
Of course.
And for sharing cheers, and to Ramsey High School.
To Ramsey High School and to a great